Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we are going to be taking a look at a Maul that is known as the Steeldriver. The Steeldriver is a great Maul, and I believe it is a normal difficulty item. I could be wrong. But it is only level 29, which is not bad. And the Steeldriver is an interesting item, and we're going to go over it together today. So I do have the ethereal version and the non-ethereal version. It also has a pretty massive cut to requirements, and we're going to talk about what it could potentially be useful for on a myriad of characters. So right off the bat, you'll notice that it has 133 to 203 damage, which seems like a rather large amount of damage for level 29. It's fast attack speed, thanks to the 40% increased attack speed on the item, and it does have a pretty massive bonus to enhanced damage of 150 to 250%. So a pretty massive variable there of 100%. So if you're looking for a perfect Steeldriver, definitely see if you can find yourself a 250%, especially if you plan on upgrading it past tier 2. We have a heal stamina plus 25% on here. Not really sure why that's there. But at level 29, I suppose it could be mildly useful. We have negative 50% requirements on this, which is going to be really, really useful when it upgrades, because it's going to make sure that that strength requirement stays relatively low. We also have a 50% enhanced damage to undead, which of course is static for all Maul and Mace class items. The ethereal version is even better with 199 to 304 damage, strength requirement of 40, and level requirement of 29. So this item is just a massive amount of damage, but I think where it shines is the 250% enhanced damage. Most items around in normal difficulty don't tend to have really high enhanced damage, and it's one of the reasons why they upgrade very poorly. But the Steeldriver Great Maul can actually upgrade quite well, and I feel like we need to start out with that. So we're going to upgrade the Steeldriver Great Maul with a Ral, a Soul, and a Perfect Emerald, which is relatively a cheap recipe, in my opinion, for upgrading items. And I don't think a lot of people are really going to cry over a lost Ral rune, a Soul rune, and a Perfect Emerald, especially if you plan on using this weapon. So we're going to go from 133 to 203 damage, 50 strength requirement, level 29, to 213, 346, a pretty massive bump in damage there. Only a strength requirement of 85, which is doable, and a level requirement of 34. Just an absolutely solid upgrade from Tier 1 to Tier 2. The ethereal item also is going to upgrade relatively nicely as well, from 199 to 304, 40 strength requirement, level 29, to 318 to 518, 75 strength requirement, level 34. So a relatively nice upgrade from Tier 1 to Tier 2, and that's kind of what this weapon is about. The negative requirements on it, combined with the relatively high enhanced damage, and the increased attack speed, actually do make this a fairly nice weapon for a Mace class Barbarian. We can also upgrade this a second time to the Elite version, which is going to be the Thunder Maul. Now, it's probably going to be rather nice upgraded to the Thunder Maul, and let's take a look. So 213 to 346 damage, level 34 requirement, 85 strength, to 115 to 630, wow. 127 strength requirement, that's actually not bad at all, and level requirement of 77. And that's going to hit pretty hard. It kind of reminds me of something you'd see in like a carnival, though, right? Trying to like test your strength on the carnival ride. You know, like you hit it with the mallet, and the little thing goes up and hits the bell. Now the ethereal version is 318 to 518, and that's going to go to 171 to 945. Wow, only 117 strength requirement on the the Thunder Maul, and level 77. And let's compare this versus something like the Immortal King Stone Crusher, right? So let me move myself out of the way. I'm always in the way. So as you can see here, if we're comparing these items together, The damage on the Steeldriver Thunder Maul is massively higher at 945 on the top end, lower on the bottom end of 171, but in general, just a much better all-around weapon as far as damage is concerned. It doesn't have the crushing blow, unfortunately, so the 40% crushing blow is not something that you would obtain. And it doesn't have the enhanced damage to demons or undead. But just in general, I think that the Ethereal Steeldriver Thunder Maul is honestly better than the Immortal King Stonecrusher. And if it wasn't for the fact that you were obviously utilizing the Immortal King Stonecrusher in the set, I'd honestly say that this one is better. Let's go out and let's play around with it, shall we? Let's pretend we're a whirlwind barbarian. Let's go kill Eldritch the Rectifier with this weapon. Oh no, my Frenzy Barbarian. I don't know if you guys have seen, but they added a Frenzy Barbarian into the game. And let me take off his Grief and his Last Wish real quick so he's not interfering with my combat. The Frenzy Barbarian Merc is actually really cool, and I'm actually pretty excited about him. I may be swapping some of my characters over to Frenzy Barbarians. It could be very interesting. Now, of course, you can socket this. The ethereal version would have to be socketed with a Zod rune to make sure that you don't run out of durability. And the non-ethereal version would probably be socketed with something like a Shale or a 15% IAS / 40% enhanced damage tool. Maybe even an Ohm rune if you were, if you just wanted to play around with it. It's certainly not a terrible item. Oh, look at that. What was that? The Demon Limb? It's a Demon Limb, right? I found a Demon Limb. Demon Limbs are great. Demon Limbs have a nice enchant on them. All in all, this item is definitely an interesting one if you wanted to be a Maul Barbarian specifically. Steeldriver is kind of an interesting choice for a Maul Barbarian. It definitely hits hard. It definitely can be upgraded at least one tier at level 34, and you can have a fairly hard-hitting weapon for quite some time. You don't necessarily have to upgrade it to the 3rd tier. You could just simply find one in decent shape, upgrade it to the 2nd tier with a Rowl, a Soul, and a Perfect Emerald, which is relatively cheap, and you would have a rather solid weapon to carry you through normal and nightmare difficulty. Level 34 is relatively low, and it would definitely be an entry-level nightmare item or at the end of normal difficulty when you're killing Bale and stuff like that. And speaking of when you would be using this item, let's take a look and see where you could possibly find it, right? So let's go ahead and pull this up on the list here, and Steeldriver. Is it the Steeldriver? No, it's just Steeldriver. Alright, and we're going to take a look at all zones. And we're going to pretend that we're kind of a low-level character with only about 75% magic find. So we're looking at Bale in normal difficulty. 1 in 559 chance. Not bad. On a non-quest skill, too. And Dariel in nightmare difficulty as well. 1 in 595. Pretty good chance there for her. And Mephisto, 1 in 657 chance in nightmare difficulty. Diablo in normal difficulty, 1 in 710. That might be your best chance there. Because normal Diablo is going to be something that you come across early on. That's a non-quest kill, so you could farm early normal Diablo fairly easily. And definitely kill him quite a few times. See if you can get your hands on one of those if you're going to be a Maul Barbarian. That's actually a really good opportunity for that weapon. Let's take a look at super uniques real quick, and let's see what kind of chances we have for super uniques. So normal Neolithak could be a decent monster to farm. If you're interested, I do have a video on how to get to Neolithak every single time correctly. It's relatively easy to do, and just search for my Neolithak video, and I will literally show you how to get to him just super darn quick using methods of, like what area you spawn in, and using things like wall paintings and stuff like that to know which direction that he's in. Let's take a look specifically at normal difficulty, shall we? So normal difficulty, it looks like Frozenstein, Lister, Neelathag, Pindleskin. So Pindleskin in normal difficulty would be a good choice as well. Not bad. You could definitely farm Pindleskin over and over again at normal difficulty at a 1 in 6,600 chance. And of course, he has a chance to drop a lot of other nice items in normal difficulty. He's relatively easy to kill in normal, and you know, definitely something that that you could farm over and over again to try and get yourself some good loot. Whether it's Steeldriver or whether it's something else that you're looking for, that's actually a pretty good shot. It does look like, though, that some of the higher chances are in Nightmare difficulty, especially the Nightmare Cow King, if you're specifically trying to get, like, the best chance possible. It looks like Cow King in Nightmare is 1 in 1,101, which is not bad. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, and if you're interested in Steeldriver, let me know what you think. It's definitely one of those oddities that that definitely upgrades very well from one tier, and can be an extremely powerful weapon for, at the very least, you know, normal into Nightmare difficulty and Nightmare into Hell difficulty. And once you get to Hell difficulty, you might want to upgrade to something better, but who knows? You could definitely use it as a stopgap weapon until you get your hands on a an IK Stone Crusher Maul, which of course is level 76. So at a much lower level, you can utilize the second tier item at level 34 and the bottom tier item at level 26, which is not bad at all. Anyways, always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, and keep watching.